Hello and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender show. I was all in sync there. Did anyone notice rather than me pressing buttons and everything? Well, welcome to the show anyway. I'm Mal Lane, just in case you don't know who the host is for the Grassroots show. It was great last night. Apologies for Dan and Jay, but Dan messaged me late last night. He's back for next week anyway, so we should do a little bit of a show, providing he's got nothing on. And hopefully we get in touch with Jay and get some feedback on his wrestling career and let you know what he's doing. And yeah, it should be good. You can tell us all about it. Anyone who's interested in taking up wrestling, or anyone who's interested in taking up officiating, refereeing at grassroots football, then these two lads are the ones to be with. Now, you may have seen a couple of weeks ago, we also had some of the choir in there as well. They want to start becoming on the podcast as well. They like their own little show, so we'll get Dan in, we can work alongside him, and we'll have a little conflab, get the kids in, see who it's brought together, what kids we've brought together. It's just amazing. You know, once again, thank you very much for the Community Fund and the National Lottery helping us out, and it gives us an incentive to move on and start fighting. Now, as I was saying last night, the one step ahead of mental health with the song Lean On Me. We're hoping to release this next week. We gave a sneaky preview out to all the ones who've been interviewed. We're held back with the kids choir because it beat everywhere, and we can't because there's little adjustments to the videos that we need to do. So I've gone through it, must be watching them both around about 20 times a day. And I'm finding little things that we need to add with Owen on Progress Media, and he's spot on. Honestly, as I was saying yesterday, they're amazing. Him, John May, honestly, you've got to watch now. I've been given sneaky previews myself to people I meet, watching them, and I know Dan Hogan is from Urban Health UK as well. I'm waiting for feedback off YPAS as well, just to put a number up there. Who they get in touch with, because I'm getting feedback from everyone. That's what I'm asking for. And you know what? The feedback that I'm getting is emotional feedback. Even the missus, the people who've been involved, Chris Kirkland, he just honestly can't stop messaging me, Chris, and we're talking conflab, we're in dialogue, as we say. He's always got time for me, and I've always got time for him. And as I was saying, we're trying to bring people together as we have done. We don't cross the line in the community since 2003. And we want to do that again, and we have been doing that again with the Heart of Gold Choir. They've made friends, people that they've never met before have become, we bonded them. And it's what we want. It's something that I believe in. I just believe bringing friendships, and that's what I want to be remembered for. Like in football, you bring kids together, you get a team, they become friends, they bond. That's where people don't realise what they've created, like managers and coaches. They don't look at themselves as that, but they want to look back at the bigger picture. And the parents need to realise that coaches and managers will also bring kids together and bond and have friendships going into decades ahead. You know, they'll keep in touch. It's friendship. It is bringing people together. It's that circle of friendship, the circle of what we want to create. That's what we need to do, and that's what we're doing. And that gives me great pleasure in putting things like this together. It really does, you know. And I want to get this out to the media, so I'm going to send in a sneak preview. Because there's an embargo on it at the moment, and have a press release there that goes out to them, and that's what I'm going to be doing over the weekend, banging the drum. Now, when we release the song, this is where you can help, this is where you can support, and it's not much to ask, because what we're trying to do is not just football teams, everyone can do this, but we're trying to get the message across into grassroots football about one step ahead of mental health. We talked about this yesterday in grassroots football. It's part and parcel of the Respect, Don't Cross the Line campaign, because We have young referees involved in football and grassroots football, and especially in all sports across the nation, across the world basically. We just want to do something, and as Dave put in his interview, if we can help one person, one child, an adult, from taking away that self-harming or suicidal thoughts, then we've done our job. We've done our job. This is what the awareness is all about. Not just me, the kids, Dave himself, the singer, John, Owen, Chris Kirkland, everyone who's come together as one, as a unit, have done unbelievably well. You know, even White Pass, who couldn't make the interviews, but are there with us on call. I've sent them a copy waiting their feedback. Leanne McGuinness, she does a lot in the community as well. She is just over the moon with what we've done and what we've achieved. And people are congratulating me, but I don't want the congratulations. I just want, that's the feeling I've got, is that people are liking it. Everyone who watched it have been touched by it, and that's, to me, is what this initiative was all about. It's just a thought that I had in my head, and this is what I do with Don't Cross the Line, the RefSpect campaign, No Ref, No Game initiatives. These are all initiatives, and what we do is also add with the Heart of Gold initiative, and we brought that in as well because we want to start giving, in the future, community awards out with the Heart of Gold. That is what our aim is, getting people in the community who are doing good things, rewarding them with a nice award from the Heart of Gold. This is what we want, and do you know, the kids, honestly, they become my friends basically. They have, and I honestly, they're letting on to me, they're waving thumbs up when I see them, because they feel wanted and the trust is there now. Whereas when we started the choir, the trust was sort of, they were looking at me, relying on other people to give them information. And by the time we've finished, we're getting towards the end of the song, I probably was one of their best friends, and I still am, and that's what is an achievement to me. And this is what we do with our Heart of Gold. We get volunteers together and we'll put them out, climb on mountains, do parachute jumps, to try and bring in, to help the work that we do and also within the community. So there might be something that we can go out and say to our team, right, we're doing this week, anyone make it, and get volunteers in so they can go and raise funds, and we can help out the ordinary person who is struggling, not with gold, not with, as much as we can. That's what we try and do, and that is what the Heart of Gold initiative is all about. It's under the banner of Don't Cross the Line, as is RefSpect, as is No Ref, No Game. This is what we're trying to do. Don't Cross the Line is not just about poor touchline behaviour, it's a bigger picture than that. And if you can work us out, we just want a circle of friends, people who understand what we're trying to do in the community. And Don't Cross the Line has been so successful in bringing people together, it's just unreal. And that's what I love about doing this. I'd rather, do you know what, honestly, it sounds mad. I wish a millionaire could come in and say, look, I'm going to really employ you to do what you do best. That's what I need. I'll win the lottery so I can pay myself. That's all I need, so I can continue and build bigger projects. That's what we want in this country. There's too many downbeats, there's too many things going on within this world that you know, unfortunately you can't help anyone. And this is what the government rely on, see. They rely on the likes of us volunteers, and governing bodies like the FA, they all rely on volunteers and their businesses. And we're stupid enough to go out and do things, but this is what I've created, is my own voluntary cause, that people understand what we're trying to do, and it's going right back into the community, the work that we do, and it's helping the kids, giving them a voice, giving them the confidence that they believe they lost. That's what we want to rebuild, and this is why we want to work with White Pass and Urban Health UK. Urban Health UK is in football, men playing football, bringing it together from mental health issues. We're trying to do suicide awareness. we'll bring them in. We don't want this. We don't want self-harming in grassroots football or any child. No child should suffer in silence. No one should. And this is what we're portraying. And we're all learned off each other. And the friendships I've bonded with Dave, Chris Kirkland, White Pass Susie, Siobhan from White Pass, we've all come together as a group. And this is what it's about. It's like teamwork in grassroots football. You come together, you make a better difference, you build a bigger team spirit, and you start believing in yourselves, and you start becoming friends and becoming a team. And that's what team building is all about. And you work good with your coaches, your managers, your referees. You know, we don't want the verbal abuse coming on the football pitches. And I keep emphasising about the John Moores University that did a project talking to 20,000 adults about mental health, and it shows it stemmed from childhood going into adulthood, and a lot of that was verbal abuse, aggressive behaviour when they were children. It affected their mental health. They had struggles with it. So the mental health struggles we need to take away and give them hope and a future to rely on. And the people who are coming on board with us, and there'll be more when we release this, honestly, the will is just unreal. And I was out and about today at Jeffrey Humble this morning. I was watching teams play, and I was watching the amount of adults and the kids who were playing and enjoying themselves, and it was lovely. The atmosphere was great because the sun was shining. We know we're going to get heavy rain throughout the day and probably over the weekend. Yes, summer seems to be coming to an end unless we have one glorious September. It's the way it is, and we just got to get on with life, you know. This is what we need to do, portray ourselves. We're adults, we're role models to the kids, first and foremost. And people always say it's the professional footballer who's a role model. No, no, no. First and foremost, it's family and friends. They is what the kids look up to. And sometimes the kids won't look up to mums and dads because they all get together in school and have a conflab. And we were all kids once. We never fed anything back to our parents. They were in control of us, and that's the way we looked at them. In a sense, someone has to be in control of you because you rely on them for your food, for your clothes, to build you up as a become an adult, but you're also relying on them to also lovely car going past. Obviously we've got to do the soundproof, and that's another step ahead. We rely on them, the parents. So that's where we talk to the parents and say, when they hear you be able to abuse a referee or show aggressive behaviour, does that take it out of them? What does it do? How does it affect them on the field of play? Someone else does it. So we're just trying to bang the message down into everyone. Re-educate the parents if you like. The coaches, the managers, they're not all absolutely 100%. I see some coaches still going on as if it's the last game of their life and they need to win. And when you see trophies up there, it's managers, some managers and coaches just make a beeline, and they'll bring players in. They'll bring players in from other teams to win those trophies. You know, what's that doing to kids who have just been together and grown through a team? Because that's my belief. Honestly, when players leave, you bring new kids in. Because if you're a weaker team, no strong team want to play for you. And it's always nice when you've got strong players who want to stay with you because they're treated right and they feel at home with you. And you talk to the mums and dads, the parents, the trust is there, and they rely on you. Because, believe it or not, whether you're a strong team or a developing team, you'll have the same credentials. It doesn't make you a better player in a stronger team because you already have that ability. You'll shine more in a less stronger team as a child. It's the mums and dads, some of the parents who are glory hunters, pushy parents, who will push that child to the hill because they think, wow, more scouts will watch this team because they're stronger, and they probably have a point. Because scouts do not come and watch a team that are getting beat every week And if you've got a strong player in there, I've watched scouts and I take it in. They'll have a little look over and go, he's only a strong player because he has better ability than the players around him. But that can sometimes not be true. And what about the late developers? How many late developers could you have in that not so strong team? And a good coach, good manager can portray that to the kids, develop the kids themselves. Because you've got a strong team that you've been taken from every other team doesn't make you a good manager or coach. It doesn't. You've got to develop kids yourself, not taking in kids who are already developed. Think of it that way. Think of it that way. What you get out of it as a top manager or coach, there's a lot of jealousy in grassroots football, and that can stem to mental health struggles as well within grassroots football. This is what we want out of the way. So what we're asking everyone to support One Step Ahead of Mental Health to do is, when we release the song, we ask every single team right across the nation just to download, in support of One Step Ahead of Mental Health but Don't Cross the Line, to download the song. Just one team, just one song. Other teams will take some, people will support you because of the way we put this together. Because there was a lot of doubt. When I was doing this, there was a lot of doubt. And probably a lot of doubt of myself, because I struggled to get singers. And I was struggling, and we started off, and I went to the Christian church here that was held here, and I asked them, could they help? Yes, they could. And then I was putting messages up on social media, singers wanted. And there was teams, I asked teams to supply the singers to make a difference. And teams are going, no, we'll only do if his mates go in there. And that's the wrong thing, because you take 4 or 5 singers from one team and it becomes a joke, it becomes a mess round, and they're not really into it. They'll have a laugh and joke like they do in football. You know yourself as a coach and manager, you get a kids team together and some of them will have attitudes where, I just want to play, very disruptive in your team. You've got to sort of take them to one side, talk to them, and that's what would happen in the choir if you just got half a dozen singers from one team. And then we got feedback saying, doesn't want to get involved because he thought his mates were doing it and the club are all doing it. But when they see the finished product and the work, even myself, I surprised myself, thankfully. But I had this idea, and I knew it would come together, and I knew we had to do something. Without the FA, without all the government bodies, we've done it as a community organisation. Don't Cross the Line, CIC, Community Interest Company. We've put this together. We're making a difference together. We are what we are. And we're in the community, for the community. Everyone. We don't segregate, we don't use different postcodes. We class every postcode as one. We want to bring every person together. And if you look at these funding hubs and what have you, councils, you only get your funding from our area, not outside the area. Why? Why? Kids are kids. People are people. Communities are communities. Why segregate communities? The government need to look back, and this is what the government do, as I said, rely on charities, rely on volunteers, community workers to go and raise their own funds. And they'll all be like, they're having a meeting going, don't need to give any money to them, they're doing it themselves, great, we've got GoFundMe, we've got all these, and we don't need to give any money. Let them all do it themselves, and we'll just go give them a big clap. That's what the government do. This is why people struggle within the communities. They have to do the work themselves and go cap in hand. Work it out yourself. Look at the government. They don't donate anything anywhere. They'll just push you to a major charity for help and support, and major funders will only go to registered charities, will not go to the likes of what we are, the Community Interest Company. It's the next best thing to a charity. Your football clubs don't see these, we can't fund you. but a major charity where people are in paid jobs and get paid. They'll fund, they'll help. Sometimes that society, I don't understand how that works sometimes. People need to take a seat, a back seat, look at it, read through it and see what they can do. You get any celebrity, they'll go to a major charity before they'll come to the likes of a community interest company. Yes, we're recognised by governing bodies for the work we do with the Respect campaign and also Don't Cross the Line, which is absolutely fantastic, but we do not get funding off them. We just get support. The PFA, take that, they will fund the t-shirts for us. They're the only people, this governing body, that will support us. Everyone else will just put a logo up. And this is why we say, any millionaires out there, what could we do for the work, for the attention that we create within the communities, because we have our own identity. We're independent, but an independent campaign, doing the best for you, for the community, and bringing people together. And your children are just going to benefit from the work that we do, not just on Merseyside, right across the nation and beyond. This is what we create with our volunteers. We don't get paid work, we're not like that. We look at it and we want to improve this. So if any millionaires are out there listening to us, and God, honestly, Shine Business Associates, they're with us, they're supporting us, and I can't thank them enough. They're starting to come on board. That's the first business that we've had shown an interest, which is Shine Business Solutions, should I have said. They're absolutely brilliant, Jack and James, and I've got a meeting with them hopefully next week when Jack comes back from holiday, because I've got another idea that's going to benefit One Step Ahead on mental health. And I've just never done that. I've just done it there, and 9 times out of 10 people do that, make a fool of themselves. But hey ho, if you can support us by downloading Lean On Me when it's released in support of One Step Ahead of mental health, what else could we do with the Heart of Gold initiatives? Don't Cross the Line, Respect programme, no ref, no game. We need to keep our referees within the game. And it looked good there today, as I said, in the Stocky Bilbao tournament, and they had the Bilbao Cup, and I think they have that tomorrow as well. And I'll try and make an effort to get there tomorrow. If I haven't got loads of work on, I'll have to get up very early, get in the studio, do my show, and go out and about and strut my stuff with Respect, because the season does start next week and everyone's getting ready for it. And don't forget, again, in grassroots football, change.org, it's free, it's a petition. We want to try and put more funding into grassroots football and keep the prices down. If you're a parent, manager, coach, you should support this. You really should, because we're paying too much to get the kids playing in grassroots football, and that could create a problem with mental health as well for many children out there. So support it and sign a petition. It makes a difference, honestly it does. Okay, once again, we thank you so much for tuning into the Grassroots show. We can't thank you enough. We do get this mental health because it's obviously in part of grassroots football under the banner of Don't Cross the Line. And we appeal to you, when the song is released next week, hopefully it's released next week, the start of the football season, please just download a copy. One copy in support of One Step Ahead. One step ahead of mental health. You could make a difference to your child or someone else's, and you've done your bit. Thank you so much. From myself, Mal Lee, and all the team here, the Grassroots Show, Don't Cross the Line, Heart of Gold initiative, no ref, no game, and Respect. We'll see you tomorrow round about 5 PM because the Liverpool game kicks off. It could be earlier because that is a massive, massive game tomorrow, Liverpool v Arsenal. So good luck for your Premier League team today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheerio for now.